Proverbs 15:1. A soft answer turneth away wrath, but a grievous word stir up anger. That's what the Bible tells us. I don't know if you've been online lately, but if you have, there's a thing out there and it's called internet trolls. And I started using some other types of social media, and that's all I have been encountering is internet trolls. They're just people who believe that they're doing something virtuous, but in reality, they're just a bunch of miserable people probably living off the government and handouts. And they feed off of making other people miserable and frustrated because misery likes company. They use different types of attacks. They use different types of tactics to try and throw the discussion off, try to attack people, where they attack your appearance, your ethnic background, which is an ad hominem attack. It's just to derail a discussion. It's not really sophisticated. Then you have people who are the whataboutism people. And it's like one of the worst type of trolls. It's prevalent in like hate and political groups like BLM and Antifa, where they use a person's actions and words and then try to use something else and say, what about this and what about that? They're trying to compare one thing to another, but a lot of it just doesn't make any sense because it's not really, it's based off of disinformation. There's really no credible evidence. It's like, well, what about rape and murder? Is rape worse than murder or murder worse than rape? It's ridiculous. You can't compare the two. And sea lioning is another tactic where people ask just an insane amount of questions, even after you already explained it. And this is a no-brainer. A lot of people do this because they make the claim that they want to learn more about what you're talking about, but you already explained it. So they're just there to waste your time and get you off topic, basically. And they're like an obsessive debater troll, where these people they pretend to have a lot of knowledge about something, and they have great some of them have good communication skills, debate skills, but then when they say something and you call them out, they act like you took something from them. You've robbed them of like freedom of speech, which really isn't true. It's just that they can't back up their claims. They just always want to constantly argue with you. And it kind of goes in line with like fake researchers, where you'll see it a lot in like conspiracy videos and comment sections, where they come up with this like crazy claim that really doesn't even make any sense typically. And when you ask them where did they get that information from, they'll tell you do your own research. That's a conspiracy in itself right there. And then there's the straw man one, where it's prominent on both the left and the right, the far left and the far right, because some of these people live in a reality that's so demented and twisted, only they can make sense of it. Spouting like ridiculous, distorted version of an argument, but there's nothing to back it up, and it's so weak. That's why they call it the straw man. Straw man, it's a fallacy. And they use these types of things to discuss emotive type discussions like abortion, that type of stuff like that. Trying to stoke people's emotions. Now, there's also one that's like one of the worst, and we're actually going to see an uptick in it because it's an election year in America. And these are huge in the political discussions, videos, everything, comment sections. And the tribalism people, the tribalism troll. One person or a group makes a derogatory comment about another person, then they run back to their like-minded people without any discussion or anything, and they do it to cause like conflict between two groups, Democrat, Republican, whatever. And this is huge, and there's actually people who get paid to do this, believe it or not, by other activist groups. And they have another like little seedy type one that's called like a hate monger, where they make like racist comments or threatening comments against someone. And no matter what, and I've actually experienced this already, actually recently, and no matter how much you report them or whatever, it always comes back a message saying this doesn't go against our community guidelines, because most of these social media platforms are catered to a certain group of people, and we all know this. You can tell that it is. I've used Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Reddit, and they all cater to only a certain type of people who have a certain type of point of view and worldview. So it's best just to mute them, and if you have to block them, and just keep reporting them, because eventually something will happen where they'll be blocked or whatever. So anyways, that's it for now. You guys take care.